Okay, what you say people, and welcome back to another weekly analysis. Now on the screen are the 10 pairs that we'll be analysing today, but before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also leave a like on the video. That really helps. If you haven't already, make sure you follow me on my Telegram channel. I'll be posting a lot of different trading setups throughout the week there, and you don't want to be missing out on that, so make sure you go check it out. Link will be in the description. But like I said, I've got another weekly analysis, so let me stop talking and let's get into it. Up first is Euro USD. Okay, so for Euro USD on the daily chart, you can see we had a big push to the upside this week with the elections there. A lot of US dollar weakness gave us a push to the upside for Euro USD here. And as you can see, we had a big push to the upside from that previous support in the market. As you can see, support there again. So now we're actually approaching some strong resistance that I was previously talking about on my previous week analysis videos. As you can see, resistance all through here. We've got rejection there, false breakout, rejection all there with those wicks. As you can see with all those wicks, and again rejection there, which gave us the nice push to the downside. But then you can see we're at that same level again, so it'll be interesting to see if that will act as a resistance and we see another move to the downside. If it does, again we've probably got a little bit of a ranging pattern building up for USD. As we got our support there, we've got resistance there, and price is kind of stuck between these two levels. So that potentially could be happening. Also watch out for the false breakouts. As you can see, we had two prior there. We could easily get another one there. Price pushes up to the upside, making people think that we could go higher and close back below and see another move to the downside. So you need to watch out for that. Always wait for some confirmation if we retest and resume back off it, and then yeah, we could probably see price break up to the upside and continue a little bit higher first. But again, I'll probably be looking for shorts for next week for USD, expecting to hold at this level, maybe take into account some false breakouts and looking to capture a move to the downside, potentially to test the support here. And if we break through this support, again, we'll probably see a breakout of that ranging pattern, and then we could probably test some previous resistance down here. As you can see, resistance there will be acting as support there as well. So again, then we can see a longer move to the downside, potentially go and test the 200 moving average there as well. So there's a lot of potential to the downside for Euro USD. Currently approaching some strong resistance. If we do hold, you can look for some shorts, but again, watch out for any false breakouts in the future. Next, let's take a look at USD JPY. Okay, so next up we've got USD JPY on the daily chart, and as you can see, big push to the downside this week. Very bearish candle on Thursday, breaking through that support, which I was expecting to hold, but you can see there we had a really big break of that level. Now if this is a breakout, again, it's a quite significant one because this is the weekly chart, and if I extend this across all the way since January 2018, you can see this support level held us in the market for quite a long time, over 2 years now. So very strong support area. So if you do get a breakout of this, we could potentially see price go a lot lower. Again, we've got a wick all the way down here, so if that is the case, again, we could potentially be heading all the way to the lows down there for USD/JPY. However, if we see next week's candle close back above into that support, maybe engulf this week's candle, again, we could be seeing a longer push to the upside, and this just be a false breakout to catch people on the wrong side of the market. So that's still possible, but again, if this does hold, again, we could be seeing a longer move to the downside. Now again, all this area here in the market on the daily will be resistance, so if you get a move to it and get some bearish price action, can probably be expecting market to sell off again. You can be looking for some shorts, and you could be it could be a really nice move, and we could be in for a longer run to the downside, potentially testing the lows all the way down there, which is quite a few pips away. So could be a longer downtrend for USD/JPY. As you can see, we did have this downtrend in the market with this trend line here, 3 prior tests that again, so potentially could be seeing price continue lower, or maybe go and test it again for a 4th time and then move lower. So again, I wouldn't want to be shorting the market now as it is. As you can see, very bearish, so wait for it to have a push to the upside, some pullbacks, then you can look to short the market again. But then do be careful, just in case we get strong candles closing back into that support, give us a false breakout and see a longer push to the upside. As of yet, I'm not totally convinced with this move to the downside yet, but then again, if the early candles next week show that we are holding and seeing a move to the downside, then yeah, we can confirm that potentially we've got a longer downtrend in the market and can see USD/JPY head all the way to the lows down here. But just be careful for false breakouts for next week. Now let's check out USD CAD. Okay, so now we've got USD CAD on the daily chart. As you can see, again, big push to the downside with that US dollar weakness this week. Big push to the downside, find some resistance there in the market. I was saying last week to be careful of this trend line here. As you can see, initially a test there, push to downside, again a second there, push to downside, and then we had those dojis there. So I was saying potentially could we get another move to the downside. Then you can see we did have a push there. So I'm only still looking for buys for USD CAD. As you can see, if I go to the weekly chart, we're at a very strong area of support in the market. If I extend this across, you can see this is the weekly chart. You got support here, push the upside, again support there, push the upside, again support, big push the upside, again support. So again, I'm coming up to very strong weekly supports. Again, only looking for buys for this chart for next week. Again, we're coming to the thick of it, to a very strong support area on the daily chart. You can see we did have support just above it, but price nonetheless broke through that level. You can see really nice support there, broke through that level with that candle. So we could be seeing price just coming back to test this support level here in the market. As you can see, previous support for us here held the market nicely, big push to the upside. So again, we could be seeing it just a test of this to break back above the support we had here, and then give us a false breakout and see price continue to the upside for USD CAD. So that's what I'm expecting for USD CAD, a push to the upside. Potentially could see price maybe break out of this area first and then give us the move, but only looking for buys for USD CAD. I'm still expecting a longer counter trend move to the upside. As you can see for USD CAD, very bearish market here with that downtrend. So expecting the market to find some support and give us a move to the upside to retrace that move. And again, we could potentially be seeing a move to go and test previous highs in the market where we have those dojis, again a little bit high up there, or of course the 200 average not too far away from those areas. So again, expecting move to the upside unless we break through this support here and hold, then potentially could be seeing price continue further. But for now, bias to the upside for USD CAD. Now let's take a look at Euro GBP. Okay, so now we're back at Euro GBP again, and this market is still moving sideways. We've had a test of the lower trend line here in the channel that I've been talking about on the daily time frame. As you can see, when I connect the highs of price, so again, initiate a test down here, push to the upside, test up there, push back down, test down there, push back up, again, test there. Again, we've had our fifth test of this channel, so potentially could be seeing price giving us another move to the upside, potentially going testing some previous highs in the market. As you can see, this is the resistance that gave us that corrective move to the downside, so potentially could be seeing price give us a move back up to this area. Again, look for a move to the downside and potentially breaking out this channel and seeing a long push to the downside where we can look at support in the market. As you can see, a nice key level going through the market here. You got resistance there, push back down, resistance there, push down, support, push up, again support, push up. So again, it's a really key level in the market where potentially price could be heading if we do break out of this channel. But before we break out, we might see a push to the upside first and potentially go and test the highs up there with that resistance, or maybe a third test of that upper trend line. We do still have that corrective pattern that I've been talking about. As you can see, we haven't broken out of it yet. So if you do see a breakout of this channel to the upside, again, we can be expecting a longer push, maybe to test the resistance up there, which could be a nice place to look to short for Euro GBP. If you do stay in this channel and break out of the larger channel on the daily chart, again, we could probably see a test of this level here in the market, which could be a nice place to look to buy back in. So it just depends whether price wants to keep moving correctively or finally break out to the upside. If we do, again, could be a longer move to the upside to test this level, which I'll definitely be looking for some shorts if we do get up to that resistance. Okay, next up we've got AUD USD. Okay, so for AUD USD on the daily chart, you can see a big push to the upside this week with that US dollar weakness. As you can see, support there gave us that big push to the upside, and actually that level was quite a key level in the market. Actually, if I drag this across, you can see why. Previous resistance there, push to the downside, resistance there a little bit, again push to the downside, support there, push up, support there, push up, and again support there, push up. So real key level for us in the market there. And potentially if you want to see a downtrend for the market for AUD/USD, we really need to get below this level and start trending below, because this could be the level that keeps us in the uptrend for AUD/USD. As you can see, big uptrend in the market there, and that level could be what keeps us in that uptrend. So you need to watch out for that. Currently though, we did break through some very strong support and resistance level in the market. As you can see, support there, resistance there, broke straight through that. So again, looking very bullish, and we did break through a trend line as well, as you can see here in the market. Got a test there, push down, test there, push down, again third, and a fourth test, push down. So a real nice trend line keeping us in that downtrend. But you can see with that big push this week, we just cleared that. So we're looking very bullish for next week for AUD/USD, and potentially could be seeing price climb a little bit higher. But first, need to be careful because we are probably due a bit big of a pullback for AUD/USD. As you can see, a very strong push to the upside with almost no pullback. So you want to be seeing price pulling back first to show a healthy trend. So potentially could be looking to capitalize on that. If price was to move a little bit higher for AUD/USD first, again, we've got some really nice resistance up here. Again, with all those wicks up here. So a nice resistance there. So potentially could see price climb higher and give us a move back down to retrace this bullish move that we had in the market. So it could be looking to capitalize on that for AUD/USD for next week. So it could be looking for some nice shorts. However, if we do clear this and retest and continue, again, it could be a sign that we're really starting a new uptrend for AUD/USD. But again, probably still looking for shorts for next week, as long as we hold that resistance and get some nice bearish price action. And could be looking to target some previous resistance in the market. As you can see, some nice resistance along here, all those wicks, and push the downside. Could be a nice place to target for next week. But if you do clear above this, again, probably expecting AUD/USD to climb higher. Now let's see what's happening with NZD CAD. Okay, so for NZD CAD on the daily chart, you can see we had a push to the upside this week. We found some support at some previous resistance, and from then push to the upside. As you can see, resistance there, push down, now turn support, push back up. So we had some nice support in the market giving us that bullish push. However, we are stuck at the same resistance we have been stuck at for a while now. As you can see, we got resistance here, push down, resistance there, push down, resistance there, again push down, and now resistance there with that wick that we tried to break through that level, and resistance there. So could be seeing another push back down to go and test that level at least, or maybe even lower. And we also have a trend line going through the market as well. As you can see, resistance here, push down, second test, resistance there, push down, again a third test with that wick. Could be a sign that we're failing to push up, and could be seeing another push down. So again, got a little bit of confidence there, saying that we could be seeing a move lower. However, if we do remain bullish, break through this resistance and break through that trend line and hold, again, we could be seeing a longer move to the upside where it could be targeting the highs. So previous resistance there, and again, got that ultimate high up there. So again, could be seeing a longer move to the upside, potentially taking out those levels. But for now, as long as we stay underneath that trend line and underneath that resistance, still favoring a move to the downside, at least to go and test previous support around here. And if we break through that, could go a lot further, maybe even go test the 200 moving average or the support down there. So as long as we stay underneath the trend line and the resistance, still favoring a move to the downside for NZD CAD. Now let's take a look at GBP NZD. Okay, so for GBP NZD on the daily chart, you can see we had a push to the downside a little bit over the past few days. We had a little bit of a channel going through the market. As you can see, you have this channel here, connect the highs and the lows, and we had a break to the downside, but you can see quite low momentum. So it's a sign that price is struggling to go lower, and we could be seeing a push to the upside. You can see we have found some previous support in the market. We got support here, push the upside, support there, push the upside. Again, we'll be acting as support. We got all those wicks already, a couple of dojis, a pin bar. Could be seeing a push the upside again for GBP NZD, at least to go and test some previous highs. As you can see, resistance here gave us a move to the downside, or we got the resistance all the way up there. Again, could be seeing a move to go and test the highs up there. So for now, I'm probably favoring a move to the upside for GBP NZD, just because we're really struggling to move lower. As you can see, if we're moving with real momentum and really impulsively, and then could potentially be seeing a break of that area because we had the momentum to do it, and potentially go and test the support we have all the way down here. As you can see, really nice support down here, support there, support there again, support there again. So again, we'll be acting as support again for a fourth time if we do manage to break through that. But in my opinion, the momentum is quite slow, and I don't see price breaking through that level. Obviously, I could be wrong. We could be getting some really strong momentum coming in early next week that just takes us below this level, and then gives us another test of this area, which again will really be a nice place to look to go long for GBP NZD. Previous support all along there, could be seeing a nice push back up. But for now, I'm expecting this area to hold, and if it does, again, could be seeing a nice move to the upside for GPNZD, potentially test previous highs up there or the highs all the way up there, and if you break through that, got the 200 moving average, could be looking to target for. So GPNZD has got a lot of upside potential, but do be aware we could potentially move lower and go and test this low down here before potentially getting that move to the upside. Up next is CAD JPY. Okay, so for CAD JPY on the daily chart, you can see that we did have a little bit of indecision running in the market in the past few days. We haven't really gone anywhere, pushing upside, and so far we're kind of just moving sideways a little bit. I've noticed a little channel in the market here. If we connect the lows of price and the highs, you can see we do have a little bit of a channel going through the market. Initially a test there, moves to the upside, back down again, another test, back up again, and again, back down again, and then back up again, but we haven't quietly tested that trend line again for a third time. We haven't quite got there yet. As you can see, we're kind of stuck around here. So again, we do have some support running through the market here with the 200 moving average on the daily chart, so could be seeing a move to the upside from that. Potentially go and test the trend line there again and either see a break or a move back down. But if we do get a move to the downside first for CAD JPY, could be seeing price coming back to some strong support areas. As you can see, support here, push the upside, again support there, push the upside. So it could be seeing price going to track to that same area, maybe a little bit of a false breakout to test the trend line just beneath it, then give us another move to the upside for CAD JPY and potentially go and test the trend line, or see price climb higher where we got resistance there, could be targeting, or resistance up there, of course resistance all the way up there. So got a few upside targets if we do break the channel to the upside. Again, nice upside targets could be looking for, but could be seeing a move first before that happens, maybe a test of the lower support area all the way down here, then maybe another move back to the upside where we can targeting the upper trend line, and again if we break through that, got a lot of upside potential we could be looking for CAD JPY. Up next we've got GBP USD. So for GBP USD on the daily chart, you can see we had a push to the upside this week. We tested some previous support in the market, as you can see here, support here, push the upside, again support there, push the upside. So again, we were looking a little bit bullish, but I'm still favouring a move to the downside for GBP USD for this week. We do have a little bit of a channel going through the market like so. As you can see here, we got initial test there, push down, second there, second test, push up, third test, push back down, fourth test, push back up. So I'm probably favouring a move back to the downside this week to go and test the lows of the trend line, or potentially price break through that and go and test the lows all the way down here with the 200 moving average not too far away. Currently we are testing some previous resistance in the market. As you can see, initial test there gave us a move to the downside, and we're back at it, that same resistance again. Could be seeing another move to go and test the lows of the trend line. You can see that Friday's candle gave us a doji as well, so it represents a little bit of indecision in the market, and as you do expect, that previous resistance as well. So that could be a little bit of a sign that we could be moving lower from this resistance. However, if we do break out that resistance, we do have the trend line up there, which we could be getting a third test of before seeing the move lower, and then again test the trend line there and either see move back up again or see price move lower and go and test the lows all the way down there. So for GBP/USD, only look for shorts this week unless we go and take out the resistance and the trend line, then potentially could be seeing price climb a lot higher and go and test the highs all the way up here. But as long as we stay inside of the trend line, inside of the channel, sorry, I'm only looking for shorts. Could be looking at a short for here at that resistance, the downside, or could be looking at shorts if you're going to test the trend line for a third time and then expecting another move to the downside. And last, like usual, GBP CAD. Okay, so for GBP CAD on the daily chart, you can see we do have a little bit of a channel going in the market now. As you can see, I've connected the lows of price and connect the highs as well. We do have a little bit of a channel in the market. You can see it test there, test there, test up there, bunch of wicks up there, and again another test there. So again, we're kind of moving this channel, and we're going to see a breakout of the channel soon, either to the upside or to the downside. Again, I'm probably favoring a move to the downside for GBP CAD. As you can see, a very nice push to the downside there. This could just be a pullback, and then price continue to the downside, where we could be seeing another test of some strong support in the market. As you can see, nice support there, push up, again, bigger push to the upside, again, support there again. So it could be seeing a fourth test of this area. Again, that could be a nice place to go long as well for GBP CAD, a really nice daily support there in the market. However, as you can see, we're starting to look a little bit bullish again from this support. So could potentially see price climb a little bit higher first, maybe test some previous resistance in the market and then give us the move, or see price maybe climb it even higher, give us another test of the trend line and then see the move to the downside for GBP CAD. However, we are at some resistance with the 200 moving average on the daily running right by it, as you can see there. Currently that could be seeing a move to the downside if we hold at that area, and again if you see a break of that trend line there, again we could be seeing a move to go and test that daily support, and that could be a really nice push to the upside for GBP CAD. So for GBP CAD, could be looking for shorts for next week if we do climb higher. As of there, I won't be looking for shorts right now. Probably not the best place to get into the market. If we do move a little bit higher, go and test some previous resistance, that could be a nice place to get into the market, look for shorts. Or if you climb even higher than that and go and test the trend line up there, that could be a nice place to look for shorts again. So only if you climb higher, I'll probably look to enter a trade. But again, could be seeing a break of where we are to the downside, and then that could be a nice place to look for longs again, but that probably won't be happening for maybe the week after next. So again, maybe a pair to keep your eyes on if we do move higher, and that could be a nice place to go short for GBP CAD. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the video. So I hope you all enjoyed it and found it useful. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and also leave a like. That really helps the channel out. If you have any questions or you agree or disagree, just make sure you leave a comment and I'll get back to you. But like I said, it's the end of the video. Thank you for joining us, and until the next one, I'll see you later.